Hello there. I've decided that I intend to win the Growth Operator Games by making my own high ticket course inside of Creator Accelerator. This is going to be episode 1, all right? And I want to drop everything I've learned about growth operating and online business entrepreneurship that I've learned in the last 4 years, okay? This is the video, how I made my first creator 157K in less than 6 months. Look at this, first of all. I'm so dialed that I decided to make this for the video and for the course. My own DIY softbox, literally glued all this sheet together, all right? That's how you know I take this seriously, okay? I'm dialed and I need this lighting to be decent. I know it's not the best, but you know, we're working with what we got. So, how I made my first creator 157K in 6 months. Now, this is a tragic tale, and I want to tell you this story to save you a lot of pain that I endured and to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that I did when you're choosing a creator, okay? The person that you choose to work with is very important, and it's also important that you don't overlook that and, he seems cool or something. Like, you need to make sure that they're a good creator. Let's start. This is January, okay? It's January of 2022. Around New Year's Eve, I got dumped by the girl that I thought was the love of my life, right? The absolute, I'm gonna marry her, soulmate, everything's great, everything's awesome. We had the same birthday, which I thought was like some cosmic alignment stuff. And it turns out that she had borderline personality disorder. If you don't know what that is, it's a personality disorder where there's a lot of different behavioral patterns, but one of them is that you put someone on a pedestal for a while. Wow, you're my perfect partner. And then devalue if you feel like it. And then they discard. So I was like brutally discarded, right? And it hurt a lot. It was really painful. And just like a lot of people in this niche, I was feeling heartbroken, looking up like my soulmate, like, why is this happening? And I came across manifestation. And, you can manifest this person back if you change your thoughts. And I was in such a vulnerable place that I was like, this is exactly what I need. Sweet. Makes sense. I mean, this is the universe's whole design, like why she's in my life and everything, right? So I should be able to manifest her back. So I started going on Reddit, in the forum, Neville Goddard SP, which is like specific person manifesting. And this coach, he DMs me, basically sees that I'm in pain, right? And I begin as a client of his. I was paying him $100 a week for text coaching, okay? So I'm just gonna draw this line here. This is Jan 23, okay? So from, February, March, April, May, in this time, I was being indoctrinated. Okay, because what this coach saw in me, right? This coach is an absolute monster. And I don't say that, there's a lot of, bad people in this world. This guy is he had been to jail twice for assault. He definitely financially abused and controlled his girlfriend. I mean, this whole mess that I learned about him. He ended up stealing $23,000 from me, okay? We'll get to that whole story at the end. But during this time, right, he saw this kid in business school, a really good business school. I was at the Carlson School of Management in Minnesota. Marketing, I'm very entrepreneurial. He saw that and, was just acting like my best buddy. And I guess at the same time, he was isolating me from friends and family. He was slowly chipping away at my mental health. So I started to really decline, and I became very dependent on him, okay, for what to do, how to think, how to act, everything. I just only trusted him because he was the source of all truth, right? It's sad. I consider myself a smart guy, and I think everyone's vulnerable to brainwashing. And, this video will definitely help you avoid that. But I was indoctrinated. And around this time, I started to think, okay, I could help you. Man, you've done so much for me, coach. I want to do something for you too. And the idea was, I was like, why don't I help you put your genius ideas into a guide and we sell that guide? And he's like, wow, I love it. Let's go 50-50 on that guide, right? And so we did that. And I started to grow an Instagram account, okay? First, I started to post quotes. Very simple. Just I saw that people were posting Neville Goddard quotes, and that's just like the thing in my industry, right? Or in that niche. People love Neville Goddard because he's all about manifesting and controlling the external world. So I started by doing that, but then things shifted and the account started growing when I started writing carousels. Okay? My growth for the Instagram went like this. And I got up to 24K. And I thought I was a hot shot. I thought I was Himothy, right? And we hadn't even launched yet. So at this time, mind you, sure I was in business school, but I hope you also have learned by now that college doesn't teach you shit about business. I graduated, and I can tell you that I've learned way, way, way more in my own personal experience since January 2022 till now about business outside of the classroom. And that's 100% true, and I feel like everyone says that, right? So we're growing this, and I just didn't know these concepts that you are so fortunate to have learned in Creator Accelerator about launches, about copywriting. I had no concept of that yet. I understood like marketing, like, yeah, I'm a good marketer, but I didn't know why I was succeeding. Okay, but what I was doing during this time was I was promoting, like I was building hype. Okay, as my following grew, I built hype for this product. Now, let me show you something here, okay? This is how the business was structured and the partnership was structured. So, 50-50 guide, and then 90-10 coaching. Now, if you can get that, that's cool, okay? So, like, for example, he charged $100 a week, every week for people. And so I would get $10 every time I made a sale in the DMs. I was DM closing before I knew what DM closing was. I didn't have a script. And honestly, I'm not saying that's bad, right? 50-50, that's sweet. 90-10, it's pretty reasonable, especially because I was making a lot of sales every week. I was making, I'd say 10 to 20 every single week. And if I hit that 10th client, I would get this to be 20, right? So I would basically make double the commissions that week, and that's cool. That kept me motivated and stuff. So this is the time where I made him 157K, okay? After I built this hype, I was building up hype. Finally, I dropped the SP guide, the specific person guide. And this guy was kind of a like a lot of creators. Well, he wasn't a creator. I was the creator and the operator, right? He was just in the background doing stuff with the clients. He was a rock, all right? He was low-key a rock. And he sent me this SP guide he had, and it was like 4 pages filled with typos. I turned it into 56 pages, okay? Sold it. People loved it. I don't believe in that anymore. Like, I feel bad. I mean, I made a lot of money off things I don't believe in anymore. But I'm not, mad at my past self. It's just how it is. It's just what happened. And a lot of them are still like in my sphere today where I teach them the truth, okay? So, where was I? Yeah, so I turned that guide into 56 pages, okay? And ran it up. The launch went really well. I think it made around 8K in a month. I think it made like 3K the night that we launched it, which was like, wow. I mean, I don't know if you've made any online money yet yourself, but that feels like a lot of money, especially if you've never made a dime. I'll tell you that the richest I've ever felt in my entire entrepreneurial journey so far, even though I'm at 10K a month now, is the first $1,000 I made. I feel like you've probably heard this a lot, that you feel richer at the beginning. But as I saw my Cash App get to $1,000 from literally typing on my phone, I was like, this is insane. This is so cool. And so this 157K, okay? A lot of it was from the guide, but I'd say most of it was from the coaching. So this is the sad part of the story, all right? Out of this whole journey, I came out with came out with 13K. Not bad, right? But that's a lot of money. $157,000? And at the end, okay, when I threatened to turn him into the FBI, which I'll get to, he had nothing to show for it because he had spent it all like a complete idiot because he was an idiot, all right? It's a messy story. But a couple of things that like led to making that amount of money, okay? Number one, let me just erase some of this. Number one was consistency. So a lot of you guys in this Creator Accelerator literally have not executed a day in your life. And I say that with love, okay? You spent all your time learning, which is fine. But what I did every single day was post on the stories, post a carousel, like literally just posting every single day. Another thing I used was scarcity. Something that we did was 10 spots available this week, okay? As you've been taught, it works. I'm telling you it works. Like, it made us a lot of money, okay? Number 3, urgency. I'm just gonna throw in social proof on this one. So, Gary, he would get, clients for, from me, and then he would get them to give us testimonials, and we'd use those testimonials day in and day out. It was, it drove money, straight up. Obviously, you've learned that in social proof, it works. 4 is design. So this is something that I would say is like one of my, I just had like a knack for it early on. And I think I've always been into art in general, but I was just literally designing stuff on my phone. I was making cool designs. The branding was different. And that's another thing. I'm gonna add that too. I made a Blue Ocean before I even knew what that was. And the funny part is I was actually assigned that book, Blue Ocean Strategy, in a class of mine. And I didn't read it because I thought it was just like a boring business book. It's actually a really good book. But what I did to differentiate myself from everyone in the market was basically like take a polarizing stance. And I said like, all these coaches are lying to you. And we're the only coaches who are strictly Neville Goddard based. We teach the truth from Neville Goddard. I don't believe that anymore, but hey, it did differentiate us a lot, and it made people trust us more because we were communicating to our audience that we are trustworthy, the rest are not, right? It's simple like polarization, it's psychology. People gravitate towards that. Some people hated us, other people loved us, okay? These things right here helped us just explode. We made, I think the highest month I reached, I wish I did MRR at the time. The highest month was 10K only from the SP guide, the digital products, okay? Also around this time, we dropped a meditation. I hired a voice actor on Fiverr and I told him to just record himself doing the meditation. And the meditation was to manifest your SP, okay? I keep saying this, but like product really does matter, and that product, like this all sucked because it was all just not true, and I just didn't know that. Remember, I was indoctrinated. I was literally brainwashed into believing that like you can just poof manifest through your thoughts. And the sad part is too, like with the meditation, I actually designed it to use it myself to try to manifest my own SP, and during this whole time, it wasn't working, right? I was just like, sunk cost fallacy. I must continue to do this because eventually it'll work off, and it's just all a test of my faith. I must hold on and believe, which is good in business, but not in relationships. All right, boys. If you haven't gotten broken up with, try to let it go, grieve it, feel the painful emotions, and move on. All right, that's what I wish I would have heard sooner. But the meditation, the SP guide, and the coaching is how we made 157K. Around this time, again, I'm gonna erase this. I asked him to just hold my money. This is a stop sign, right? I said, please stop paying me because I have my FAFSA coming up, which if you don't know is like the financial aid for your college. And I don't want them to see $1 billion zillion in my bank account and use that against me for scholarships. Like I wanted to get the state grants because my parents aren't wealthy. Like my dad's a teacher and my mom, she was doing senior caregiving at the time. She's a nurse now, but he was holding my money. During this time, the bill racked up to be $23,000 that he owed me. And then it was around this end of the year where I said, hey, you know what? You can pay me now. Super excited. By the way, the bill is $14,000. And the reaction he did was like explosive. He completely manipulated me. What the hell? I'm not paying you that. It's over, bro. And I'm like, what? That's my money. What do you mean? And I was in the coffee shop. I remember I was with my best friend and I just smacked the table. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just got scammed. $14,000. I just wasted months of my life growing a business for this dude who decided to just completely like screw me over. And that was one of the darkest moments in my business career, okay? And after that conversation happened, he said, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm calmed down now. And we'll make this work. I'll pay you your money. We'll figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And remember, I was still dependent on him. I was like, this guy is like my hero. He's done so much for me. I was like indebted to him. And so then we kept going. This was a very, very dark time, okay? He started to treat me, started to manipulate me a lot harder to try to like, because he felt threatened, right? And the bill, because he wasn't paying me enough every week, the bill went from, $14,000 to $23,000. And it was around that $23,000 point where I reached my tipping point. I realized like I am suffering so badly mentally. Like I cannot do this. I was starting to actually start to disagree with the indoctrination, starting to come out of the brainwashing spell he put me under and realize like, okay, this is not how reality works. This guy has been lying to me. This guy's been controlling me. He's been intentionally indoctrinating me to hurt me, to isolate me. And as I was having these realizations, I was like, oh shit. This guy is a monster. It started to hit, interesting that he told me that he's gone to jail several times for assault. It's interesting that he says that he has full control over his girlfriend's bank and all her money. It's interesting that he uses manipulative tactics on his girlfriend to control her, and he bragged about it as if that was cool. Maybe this guy is a fucking narcissist, right? And that's when I started to get scared. I started to get scared of retaliation. And my mom was like scared even more. She's like, he might hire a hitman and come after you. Like he was in Scotland and I'm in Minnesota. And she was scared that he would literally send a hitman to kill me because of out of anger. But I had to overcome that. And it was January 14th. January 14th was the day that I literally said, if you don't pay me $23,000 in $23,014.26 or something like that, I will turn you into the FBI, the SEC, and the IRS. And they do operate internationally. There's an FBI office in Scotland, and they will serve you papers, and we'll have to go the hard way. And what he did next was pretty scary. He sent me this long, super passive-aggressive text saying, hey, I saw that, you threatened me with this. Just want to let you know that if you decide to go this route, I will be leaking all your personal information that you told me over the last year. I'll leak your deepest personal struggles to other coaches in this industry, and they'll flame you for it. And then he also made a fake account. He made a fake account and started posting stuff about my own relationship struggles that I was getting coaching for in the comments of the Instagram. And that's terrifying. Like leaking my super personal information, the struggles that I was going through. So what I did was I let it go. And that led to the biggest period of growth in my entire life. This whole experience, making that 157K for my creator, taught me so much about business and about leading an audience and about how to be a good business partner and what a bad business partner looks like, right? You need to do these things, and we can talk about these more throughout the Growth Operating Games when I'll be making the rest of this high ticket course. But I'd say the lesson for this one is that you need to make sure that you're picking a good creator and you're watching your own back. First of all, make sure that you're getting paid. Make sure that they are showing signs of respect, that they can communicate, that you know what a narcissist is. It's a person who has a very fragile ego. They are very manipulative and they're going to exploit you, right? And, that's just so important. I made this guy so rich. He started renting super nice cars. He moved into a penthouse. He bought his girlfriend a car. He spent $10,000. This might be a complete lie, but he said he spent $10,000 on his dog's hip surgery, and that's why he couldn't pay me this $14K. Oh, sorry, bro. I don't have any money at all. And that stung a lot. I feel like a lot of times you need to go through hard things in business to become the next level entrepreneur. I am who I am today, and I picked my amazing partner because I know what to look for and what not to have in a business partner. Okay? That's just like my story. I hope you guys, or if you're still watching this, that I've gained your trust by explaining to you maybe like the darkest time of my life. During that time when the money was racking up and everything was exploding and I saw my own balance growing, right? And I was like, dang, this is awesome. At the same time, it was literally the darkest point of my entire life, but that has made me who I am today. And a good play that I made is I retained the ownership over the Instagram account. He tried to steal the Instagram account from me, but I held on to it because it was my baby. I would not let him give me the password, and I tried to set boundaries several times saying, hey man, I'm not gonna give you the password. Like, this is my playing card. We don't have a contract, so like this is like my, what I can provide value with. If you can control the bank accounts, I'll control the money-making machine. So I still have that, right? I still have the Instagram from this whole experience. And now I'm doing a blue ocean again, and it's completely different. So instead of saying, manifest your SP, I'm literally going out and saying manifestation in that way is complete BS and everyone is lying to you and you need to move on from this horrible person. Get your trauma right, get your life together. And there's a lot more to that, but I've still held on to that. And that's what makes me a creator and a growth operator at the same time. That is why I think you should listen to me over this next month, because I see both sides. I see the creator side and the growth operating side. Okay? So this is how my life looks like now. Actually, I'm just going to erase this. On one side, it's the forge. I've grown the forge to 10K a month. We hit 10K at exactly 100 days, and I can tell that story next, okay? That's what I plan on doing. 10K a month in 100 days. The forge is a blue ocean as well, okay? It's with a friend from high school, and it's a fitness and mindset for guys. Like it's been really awesome. I've been falling in love with it. Today I actually had breakfast with one of our members, which was so cool because I never would have imagined that I would be meeting someone that signed up through school, right? And he put me onto so much sauce. Like I'm gonna be making so many changes because this guy saw things in a way that I couldn't quite see, which is why you should talk to your customers. But on the other side is Core Shift. Okay, I'm checking. We can see this. CoreShift is making 600 MRR, which after seeing the amount of money I have, even though it's not like nothing crazy, but that doesn't feel like a lot. But this has been a beast because I'm doing something completely new. This is where I'm an operator. And I'm a creator / operator. Okay? This is a lot to juggle, and most of my focus is on CoreShift because that is my passion, is helping these people who are also manipulated by coaches like I was. And there's so much I can tell you about both of these, and I'm going to say that for a different video in this course, but I've learned a lot. Okay? I've learned a lot, and I'm excited to share it with you because the perspective I've been able to experience, I'm very grateful for. I've been able to see so much, about online business in my I'm 22 now, and I'm excited to continue to grow both of these businesses. And one quick last gem I'll leave with you in this video is that I would not be able to do this without a team, okay? This is next level shit, and I'm going to be talking about this in the course. You need a who, not a how. Most small-minded people, they have a vision and they think, but how do I do it? But the next level is to, instead of asking how do you do it, ask who can do it for me, okay? I learned how to DM close for this, and then I hired a DM closer. And that's helped us get to 10K a month while allowing me to still focus on this and get into the nitty-gritty. Today, I got a cease and desist order. Someone's threatening to sue me because they say I'm stealing their content, which is complete BS. That's not at all true. And so this is like a whole mess. It's crazy, it's fun, it's like a real challenge. This has felt pretty easy to me. And it's allowed me to fund this. Literally, I've been pouring my money into building a team, right? We've gone through 2 salesmen, fired both of them, okay? We've gone through, I have a content creator and I have an executive assistant. My executive assistant helps me with everything. And I'll tell you how to have an executive assistant, how they can help you with your health, your focus, everything, optimizing your whole life. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm going to leave it at that for this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate you, and I hope you got a lot of value from this. If you did, drop a like, and then go into the school where I posted this and give me a testimonial in the comments. Just something. Just say like you enjoyed the video. What value did you get from this video? Was there a gem that stood out to you about my story so far? And is there something that you want to see me make in this course, this high ticket course I'm giving you for free? All right. Let me know in the comments. I'm trying to win the Growth Operator Games. I want to meet Brady and Eddie. These guys These guys are sick. And I want to be in that mastermind because I know that I see the value in going to Chicago, and going to that penthouse and having fun with the boys, but most importantly, sitting in front of that damn whiteboard and cooking, right? Being dialed. So that's my intention. I'm going to keep doing it this month, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on this video.